Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to tonight's Conroe ISD Woodforest Bank Stadium. Let me start that over. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning into the Conroe ISD Woodforest Bank Stadium stream here on YouTube. I'm Jackson Cochran, and I'll be one of your voices for tonight's Week 2 non-district matchup between the Oak Ridge War Eagles hosting here the Stratford Spartans, and we are coming to you live at Woodforest Bank Stadium here in Shenandoah, Texas. So alongside me tonight is going to be Travis Mayu. Travis, how you doing tonight?
Doing all right. Glad to be here.
Yeah, it's looking a little grim out there with the weather. It's been raining off and on tonight. You know, it's going to be a little wet out there tonight. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that shouldn't change too much for Oak Ridge when you have the sort of multifunctional players that they proved they do have last week. I think you stick to the ground unless proven otherwise.
I agree, and while we're going to go ahead and let you know about a few things going into tonight's matchup, obviously coming into tonight's game, you know that Oak Ridge did lose to Klein last week. It was a hard-fought battle, and it was a high-scoring matchup, not to mention. It was a 67-43 loss, but you know the War Eagles were able to put up a lot of points, and they were the they're in the top 4 of the district in scoring last week, so that's something to look forward to, especially whenever they actually lead the entire district. And I know it's just 1 week, but all-purpose yards 595.
Definitely a high-flying battle. You know, despite the loss, I think there is a bit to be happy about there. You know, you find out your key players, move forward with them throughout the season.
Thank you, Travis. And obviously, we are experiencing just a little bit of technical difficulties here at the bank tonight, but we will be letting you know when we will have the national anthem coming up shortly, and we will have our sponsored commercials. But let's talk about a few stats that go into tonight's game and a couple key players. Obviously, we know that Oak Ridge lost last week to Klein, but also last week, Stratford, they lost to Tomball, and it was a high-scoring game as well. It was a 39-41 loss. And one of the things that you can look at on both sides of the ball for Stratford, they have a key shutdown corner on both sides of the field. They have both ends of the field. You have Parker Johnson, the senior defensive back, number 21. Then you also have the shutdown corner, number 3, Jonathan Joseph, the junior defensive back. So you want to look and see what this high-powered offense for Oak Ridge can do, especially whenever they rotate quarterbacks. You will see Drayton Urbe taking some snaps, and obviously you're going to see Travis Coleman also take a few snaps. But they're going to be on number 1, James Scott, for sure, who is one of the top receivers here for Oak Ridge. He had 8 receptions, 151 yards, and what was that? That was 2 touchdowns, right, Travis?
2 touchdowns
last week. And not to mention, you're going to have your bell cow back for your War Eagles, number 21, Justin Hayes, the senior. He rushed himself for – why don't you give me those stats over there?
Justin Hayes last week against Klein rushed for 151 yards. That earned him the number 1 spot in the district for Week 1.
Did he have any touchdowns? I believe he did have himself 4 touchdowns. He had a 28-yard long. But, yes, he did find the end zone 4 times last week, and he averaged for 6.91 yards. So that's something to look forward to, especially whenever they have this diverse, very explosive offense. And we're going to see how that goes into tonight's matchup, especially whenever it's going to be a little rainy. You want to control the clock and keep it on the ground. But we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back after these commercials. Thank you.
Our orthopedic care is shaped around you. And you. And you. Because customizing treatments and using breakthrough techniques is how your comeback starts. Like 3D printing for ultra-precise joint replacements and providing the same specialty care as we do for the Houston Rockets. So you return sooner, stronger, better. This is orthopedic care designed for you. Memorial Herman, advancing health, personalizing care.
Shopping for a new or used vehicle, or just looking for a place for good, reliable service? Go with the name you know. Gullo Ford, Gullo Mazda, and Gullo Toyota. The Gullo family has been serving the Conroe Woodlands area since 1970. So the next time you're shopping for a new or used vehicle, or just need service, do yourself a favor and go see Gullo Toyota, Gullo Mazda, and Gullo Ford. Or log on anytime at GulloAuto.com. Gullo, let's drive.
What if a world-leading hospital could also be your neighborhood doctor's office? With Houston Methodist, it is. Our primary care physicians invest time in your visit, so you're seen and heard, virtually and in person at locations across the city. And we're always ready to connect you with our network of top specialists.
That's the difference between practicing medicine and leading it. Houston Methodist, leading medicine.
Woodforest National Bank, where convenience meets community. With over 30 branch locations in and around Montgomery County, we're always close by to help you with your banking needs. But we're more than just a bank, we're proud supporters of our local community, dedicated to making Montgomery County a better place to live and work. Experience the difference at Woodforest National Bank. Convenient, caring, and committed to you.
Since 1965, the team at Buckaloo Chevrolet has been working hard to deliver a better car buying experience to every customer. If you're looking for a better selection and a better car buying experience, head to Buckaloo Chevrolet. We promise no hassle, no haggle buying, and we never add things to our price you don't ask for. The price you see is the price you pay at Buckaloo Chevrolet on I-45 in Conroe, or shop BuckalooChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. And remember,
It's a better buy at Buckaloo.
Thank you again to our sponsors who are able to let us come to you live here on YouTube. And while you are here, just a friendly reminder that if you actually hit that subscribe button, it's that little, depending on if you are on your smart TV or your tablet or even your computer at home or wherever you are, it's that pill-shaped button, and you just click the subscribe button. And also, if you hit that little bell to the left of the subscribe button, it'll let you know anytime that we go live this season here at Woodforest Bank Stadium on the Conroe ISD Athletics Woodforest Bank Stadium stream. Thank you again for that. And Travis, a couple things. You know, this is the 6th season for Coach Schmid, and
That's right.
he's going off of a 26-28 record, so he's pretty much close to 500. Now, they did have themselves an 8-4 record last season for the Oak Ridge War Eagles, and they did lose a tomball in that divisional round. But I'm just curious, with the way that the weather is playing tonight, what Coach has in store, if he's just going to have to re-scheme or they're still going to go with their game plan. If you're coming into tonight, would you change your game plan, or would you still stick to the script because you have that much confidence in your team?
I think you definitely do have to change up the game plan at least to some extent. But I think mainly about tonight with conditions, it's mostly about trusting the players that even with clear weather last week did what they did, put up the numbers that they put up, and just looking to them.
All right, we do see that the players are coming out of their locker room. We do see that Oak Ridge is lining up from their inflatable. They are wearing the white helmets, red jerseys, white pants tonight. I know that they actually did go with their blue jerseys last week on the road, but something good to see, and we're still waiting for Stratford to come out of their locker room. I know that I did see them with their white jerseys and green there. They start to make their way out of their locker room. I see a few of the coaches walking out first. We do hear a few of the band players. I believe that is the Oak Ridge School song, so we will take a quick so we can actually hear the band play. My apologies to the Oak Ridge Band. I didn't see that they finally made their way onto the Section 500, and they should be doing the national anthem shortly. As we do have eyes on Oak Ridge. They're ready to make their way onto the field through the inflatable. They're going to run past the drill team and in through the Oak Ridge War Eagles sign that they have ready to get underway for this week. But a couple other things before. Okay, I do see that Stratford is coming out of the locker room now. But a couple things going into tonight. Oak Ridge does have a little bit of work to do, especially losing some key players that all graduated. They actually lost 4 key players to Division I commits from graduation last year. I know that we had strong linebacking core, especially one of them going to Georgia. But here comes the War Eagles running onto the field now from the south end zone. The Spartans running onto the field as well. So everybody that has made their way here to Woodforest Bank Stadium, I just want to say thank you for getting here and trying to keep as dry as possible. I know a lot of people are still making their way in through the stadium on our home side. But just in a few moments, we will have the ROTC make their way to midfield. I do see that the referees are ready to line up over at the 50. So the ROTC will be coming from the north end zone. Our kickoff entitlement will be shortly. Both teams making their way to the sidelines. So the Oak Ridge Band will be playing the national anthem for you shortly, and we will take another brief timeout and quiet ourselves down. Here's the national anthem. Thank you to the Oak Ridge Band. Brave of the Elements playing the national anthem for you here tonight at Woodforest Bank Stadium. I know that with the weather, it is still slightly humid out there, but back-to-back weeks, it's been more tolerable than it was last year because we had a couple delays a lot last season due to how hot it was during the summer that we were starting about an hour later just to at least give these players a little bit extra time as the sun was going down so it would finally cool off. But right now, we're in the 80s. Maybe feels a little bit warmer on the field due to the turf and the humidity, but we're getting closer and closer to these football elements, whether it be rain, whether it be a little bit of cool nights, especially that cold front coming in this weekend. So that's something to look forward to as the season progresses. What do you think, Travis?
I know everyone, especially the players, I know they're counting down the days until winter, those cold games, bundling up. Surely beats the humidity.
Now we have our team captains for Oak Ridge making their way to midfield. That is number 15, Drayton Urbe, and number 42, Sam Slanton. They meet Stratford's captains at midfield. So we're wait for the kickoff entitlement. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Oak Ridge is going to defer to the second half, and they are going to defend the north end zone. They want the ball in the second half, and they have faith in their defense that they can actually take over and put some hurting over to the Stratford Spartans tonight. We're just moments away from kickoff. We see that the weather has kind of calmed down just a little bit. It's still has that overcast, but at least it's not having any type of precipitation going on right now. Oak Ridge lining up for the kickoff. You do have number 81, Marcus Serstad, your place kicker. If you look down in the south end zone, I do see number 5, Javier Denson, the senior running back. He will be there to return. And number 3, Jonathan Joseph, I mentioned him in the pregame show, the shutdown corner. Those two key players back to receive. So ball teed up in the middle of the hashes at the 40-yard line. And week 2 has officially started with a high kick that is returned by Stratford. And that was number 0, Hunter Beal, on the return. Stratford's going to line up. Looks to be at the 35-yard line. And they will have 1st and 10 in their own territory. So just 4 seconds in. Nice field position there for the Spartans as they bring their offense on the field. You have number 10, Aaron DeLeon, under center. Stratford lining up with 3 wide receivers. A man goes in motion in the backfield. Plenty of time. He throws deep, and he just in number 3, Jonathan Joseph's hands. Looks like Joseph's going to be playing a little bit of a Ironman football, little offense and defense.
Looks like
kind of a Travis Hunter situation if you were following some college Colorado football. But the first play of the game is going to be an incomplete pass, as it's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Spartans.
looks like the weather not slowing Stratford down much, coming right out the gate, taking a shot downfield.
So Jaden Barnes was the defensive back on the coverage for the War Eagles. Did you see the direct snap? DeLeon rolls right and throws to Hunter Beal, who had 3 touchdown receptions last week for the Spartans, and it is going to be the first down of the night for Stratford. Close to midfield, DeLeon takes the snap as he hands it off to Denson, as he just finds plenty of room in the middle of the field as he gets tackled in Oak Ridge territory. That was going to be close to 33. No, I'm sorry. That was 27-yard on the carry. And they bring the hurry-up offense as they call on Denson again, as it just runs up the middle. So Stratford's got themselves in a bit of a hurry-up offense, looking like they're trying to get Oak Ridge to get a little winded before they get into the red zone.
Looking to hit hard, hit fast, no questions asked.
As they call Denson's number again as he runs. Oh, the ball comes out, but it is recovered by Ford Pauley, the junior offensive lineman, who is one of the key blockers for this offensive line. If you were looking into a little bit of storylines, he is one of the top linemen for the Spartans this season. But that ball, it's going to be slippery, especially on this turf. So it's 3rd and 2, ball at the 20, just right on the door of the red zone. Spartans looking to extend this as they just do a little quick play, as it's a broken tackle, and Hunter Beal finds himself into the end zone on the 20-yard reception. Just a pass right in the slot. In 20 yards. Now he did break a tackle. 20 yards after catch. So the So the Spartans strike first with 6 points. We're waiting on the point after touchdown. What'd you see going on that play there, Travis?
I think the fumble definitely maybe brought Spartans back to reality for a second there. Try the screen out, but it ended up giving them enough to take it in.
So Ricky Estrada back to kick the extra point, and he splits the uprights. So after just a minute and a half into tonight's game, Stratford is leading Oak Ridge 7-0 on the 20-yard reception over to Hunter Beal, who has his 4th touchdown of the season already. Couple things that went on in that first drive. Obviously, Stratford was able to go 75 yards and get into the end zone. And I do see that Estrada is lining up to kick it off.
That is Phoenix Aguilar back deep to receive for the Eagles.
So, yeah, the Eagles do have themselves 3 return specialists back there. And my apologies, that was a 65 yards that the Spartans were able to go downfield with. But as Estrada kicks it, just a high little pooch kick that is returned, and it was a fair catch. That was number 3, Logan Unterferger, for the War Eagles. We're going to get to see what this offense has in store for the Spartan defense tonight, see if they can counter and actually tie this game up here in the first quarter. As the offense is lining up, we do see that number 15, Drayton Nurbe, is going to be taking the snaps for the War Eagles. And number 21 in the backfield is Justin Hayes. As they hand it off to Hayes, he goes to the left side, just right on the edge, and gets himself 6, maybe. Yeah, he gets 6 on his first carry, so that's going to be a 2nd and 4. So Oak Ridge going with a split back, so Phoenix Aguilar is in the backfield also with 2 wide receivers. Looks like they're going to probably continue with this ground game. It's a fake little RPO action. And Drayton Nurbe is met with a rally of Spartans in the backfield, so it's going to be a 3rd and 5 on the loss. So this Spartan, they're bringing 4 men up front, trying to put pressure on the offense as it's going with a 4 wide receiver set for Oak Ridge. See if they try to go for a pass play here to keep this drive alive. Plenty of time in the backfield as it's a swing pass over to Mr. Hayes as he gets the first down after getting maybe 7 on the reception, maybe 8. So it's the first down for Oak Ridge tonight. So the War Eagles are close to midfield as well. Plenty of time here in the first quarter that they can get downfield. 1st and 10, ball at the 46. Delayed handoff over to Hayes again, but he gets met. I'm going to see where they call for progress. That was number 2, Matt Green, on the tackle. Travis, it's looking like this War Eagle offense is getting a little predictable right now. It looks like it's running straight through Justin Hayes. See if they can come up with anything for this Spartan defense.
Looks as though they're certainly trying to slow down the tempo after that first drive, see if it can hold up.
2nd and 10. Urbe drops back as he throws it to number 1 receiver James Scott. It's just a short pass. As he gets out of bounds, that's a 12-yard reception as he moves the chains. So the War Eagles are now in Spartan territory, looking to get into the red zone and punch their ticket for 6. War Eagles getting that play from the sideline. Urbe's calling it to his players. 3 wide receivers lined up. Little protection with the tight end in the backfield. Hayes to his right. Play action passes goes up the middle. It's just short. That was looking for number 3, Logan Unterferger. Actually, might have been number 2, Phoenix Aguilar. Sometimes these numbers do look a little close whenever these players' jerseys do bunch up. It's a 2nd and 10 here for the War Eagles. Ball on Spartan 42. High snap as it's just going to be a quarterback keeper with Unterferger. Ball comes out. It's going to be a fumble recovery. That is Jonathan Joseph on the recovery. That's a 2nd fumble tonight from both teams, and this is the first turnover of the game.
Joseph already adding onto his resume there after a standout performance last week.
This is the 2nd drive here for the Spartans with excellent field position right at midfield, close to midfield, as they're going back towards the north end zone. Split backs in the backfield. Oak Ridge trying to bring 4, but we have our first penalty of the night. Wait for our lead referee. I believe there was false start from the wide receiver. Having a little bit of mic difficulties from our head referee tonight, but we do know that that was a false start on the offense. It's going to push them back 5, so it'll be a 1st and 15. Ball at their own 39. Bringing out the same formation, split backs, 3 receivers, just like they had. Oak Ridge is still going to be bringing those 4 down linemen with the middle linebacker, so having that 4-3 style defense. So they called Denson's number again. He gets 5 on that carry as he just runs in between the tackles, running very viciously tonight. So 6 yards, actually, so it's 2nd and 9. Ball at the 45. Four wide receivers lined up. It's a play action pass as he goes up the middle. He finds Beal again. Beal breaks himself another tackle, looking to get his 2nd touchdown of the night. He does cross the plane. That is going to be another touchdown. So 55-yard house call. That is the 2nd touchdown of the game by Hunter Beal for the Spartans. That is 5 touchdowns of the year for Hunter Beal. As Stratford is extending the lead right now, 13-0, pending the extra point. A lot of these players are a little slippery tonight. A little difficult to wrap them up. What do you think, Travis?
Definitely looking to make form tackle tonight where you can.
Good snap, good hold, and the extra point is good. So just about 5.5 minutes here in the first quarter, and it's already 13-0 Stratford Spartans over the Oak Ridge War Eagles. I'm sorry, 14-0. I don't know if I said 13 or nothing or not. But following the turnover, the 55-yard reception by Hunter Beal gives them 2 touchdowns of the night. As you saw in the previous kickoff, we did see that Estrada did have himself a pooch kick over at the 30, trying to keep it away from Aguilar, who is in the middle of the 10, close to the 5. He's like hovering around. Hovering around the 7 right now. Back to return. So Estrada lining up. Looking like he's going to try to kick it back to the 30 like he did in the previous kickoff. As he does, it's going to be signaled for a fair catch. Unterfinger does catch it. It's going to give the Oak Ridge War Eagles starting off at their own 35 yet again. Now following the fumble from Urbe, let's see if he can shake that off and get his offense back in this game and try to cut the deficit down just by 7. 1st and 10 to the 35 is a delayed handoff as it's a cutback from Hayes as he gets himself 10 yards, maybe 11 as he gets pushed out of bounds. So Parker Johnson on the tackle, but that is another first down for the War Eagles. Take that broken play and turn it into something. What do you think?
Looks as though Stratford defensive backs, I've seen this a couple times, seem to be a little flat-footed in areas, allowing these angles, run them out to the side.
So they call Hayes number again. He has himself a big hole as he gets himself another first down. As he goes just to the far side of the field, goes getting close to that sideline. But here's the replay from the scoreboard. We do see that he was able to just find himself just enough crease to extend and get that first down. War Eagles lining up with 4 wide receivers. Sending a man in motion. They do a swing pass over to Aguilar that is just out of his hands. They're saying that it is a live ball because he was behind the quarterback, so that it will be considered a fumble. Hold on. Are they signaling that it was a fumble? Did the ball go out of bounds? I think that the ball did go out of bounds. It was a live ball.
It was number 2 there, Matt Green, looking to jump on the ball for the Spartans.
And he was in on that first fumble earlier in the game. So the live ball does go out of bounds. It's 2nd and 22 here for the War Eagles. As they go empty, it's 5 receivers. Urbe gets the snap. As the pocket collapses on him, as he runs away with it, he's able to dump it off. Just a little check down as he does give it to Hayes. But there is a flag on the play. He might have been past the line of scrimmage as he was thrown. So this is going to be on Oak Ridge. Nope. There was a hold by the offense. That was number 68. Colton Francis called for the hold. So the penalty is going to push Oak Ridge back even further. It's going to be 2nd and eternity to get that first down. As they're going trips left, as they're lined up on the right hash, going towards the south end zone. Urbe back to pass. The pocket collapses on him yet again as he's looking downfield, but he is intercepted. That is intercepted by the Spartans. I'm trying to catch who that was. That was number 8, Eric Finworth. Unfortunately, Urbe did have 3 interceptions last week, and that's his first one tonight.
Spartans could think Tegan Burrell coming in from that right side there, putting heavy pressure on the quarterback.
So not enough protection for Urbe in the backfield as he's getting pressured and just decides to throw it downfield, and there weren't really any War Eagles in on the throw, and that was a 2nd turnover of the night for Oak Ridge. And as DeLeon gets sacked in the backfield, did they say the ball? No, the ball was still protected. But that was number 6, Dubum Ejecum. But we're going to have ourselves an official timeout as we are waiting. But that was a big kind of play for the War Eagles, especially following the interception. You get that big sack. That's something that you want to see, especially from this front 4. But you had plenty of War Eagles in on the play. I know you had Chase Leonard, the sophomore defensive lineman. But Duba Mijeckum, the junior defensive lineman, getting the sack, and it's going to be a 2nd and 21 for the Spartans. See if this secondary can actually not let the Spartans get themselves downfield yet again. So we have a 4-3 system, 4 linemen, 3 linebackers. And it's another. So the pocket collapsed right there on DeLeon. Actually, it was a design play, the quarterback keeper. But it was a good stop right there from the War Eagles, which will bring it a 3rd and, say, 3rd and 17. Ball at midfield. They are in Oak Ridge territory right now. See if Oak Ridge can put a stop here at midfield. But by the field position, the Spartans might actually go for it on 4th down. With the screen pass, it's incomplete. So we had number 5, Mr. Banks, linebacker for the War Eagles, in on the coverage. So it's going to be a 4th. So 4th and 17, they are going to bring out their punt team. This is the first time we will see the punt team tonight for the Spartans.
Number 2, Phoenix Aguilar back.
So Aguilar's back there to return. Good eye, Travis. Thank you so much. So number 7, Jake Weinhart, punting for. Well, we do have ourselves another flag on the play. Following the punt. Trying to see what was going on my monitor. What transpired on that play to cause a penalty. So it looks like they did signal for a fair catch, and he was hit. So it was interference from the Spartans hitting Aguilar. So that'll push Oak Ridge up from the 22 at where the play was down. So now it's going to be a 1st and 10 as the ball's getting spotted at the 37-yard line. So about the same type of field position that Oak Ridge has had most of the evening. Not pinned back deep in their own territory. So enough breathing room behind them so they can try to push forward. Offense back on the field. It's going to be a keeper for Urbe, but he gets met by number 11, Tiergan Burrell for the Spartans. So a lot of these designed runs are kind of hit and miss right now for Oak Ridge following the interception and the fumble. Oak Ridge needs to try to find something to get downfield and try to close in this deficit right now.
This War Eagle offense surely eager to make their way downfield after their defense stonewalled Spartans for them.
So another handoff to Hayes as he's dancing in the field, does a little spin move, gets himself another 1st down. So Hayes, the bell cow back for your Oak Ridge War Eagles, just dancing out there as he gets to midfield. This offense is running through Justin Hayes, pun intended. So that is another 1st down for the War Eagles tonight. As their 4th 1st down, as they are right at midfield. And they're giving the ball back to Hayes as he cuts back and he finds a clear open path. Does it look like he almost gets another 1st down? That was 9. He just finds himself just enough of a crease as he gets close to the 1st down marker. Following here the replay, he sees that his hole closes up, but has great vision as he's able to just cut back and try to move and get more positive yards for the War Eagles. As the sun's starting to set here at the bank. Ball on the right hash, just 3 minutes left in the 1st quarter, as it is a play action pass thrown overthrowing. Looks to be another pass for Aguilar, just a little high, but had plenty of time in the pocket to a wide open man, just a little incomplete. But I do like the fact that they are not afraid to still throw the ball, especially with it being still wet on the field right now, Travis.
Oak Ridge surely playing a more conservative offense the last couple of drives. Not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea. As it's going to be 3rd and 1 here. It's a split back formation as they do a RPO, as they give it to Hayes, and he has plenty of room. He's breaking another tackle. He's just a little shoestring tackle from number 21, Parker Johnson, the senior defensive back for the Spartans. But it is another Oak Ridge first down as they are just chopping at the bit, trying to find the end zone tonight. Just tiring out this defense. Hayes doing some work. So we have 3 wide receivers lined up for the War Eagles. They're still going towards the south end zone. And they find Hayes, and he gets himself just a huge hole. Actually just shot through the hole. I believe it was in between the guard and tackle. And it's going to be another first down. So ball's at the 22. Spartan 22 is there just close to the red zone, trying to get into pay dirt. So another handoff to Hayes as he turns and turns the edge, as he's just breaking tackles left and right. Hayes been averaging over 6 yards a carry on the season. I know it's just week 2, but he's showing that he can still make that average going into tonight's matchup. And it's going to be 1st and goal here for the War Eagles. Ball at the 9. Hayes looking a little tired. Give him a little bit of time to catch his breath, as they're probably going to call his name and number yet again. Is this first play here in the end zone or in the red zone? Actually, no, it's going to be a goal line fade. Looking for James Scott. Caught the defense off guard. Overthrew Scott, but that was a little fade that we weren't expecting.
Oak Ridge offense certainly eager to open up the playbook after this run offense they've been on. Looks as though they might need to stick to what they know best.
So 2nd and goal here. Minute 45 left here in the first quarter. They do hand it off to Hayes. Actually gets met behind the line of scrimmage. There's going to be at least maybe 2-3 yard loss. That was number 44, Blake Berry, just wrapping up and taking them down. It's going to be a 3rd and looks to be 12. 3rd and goal, ball on the 12. Oak Ridge might be looking to the air to try to get in the end zone to break down this deficit to 7. So it's another handoff. They get it to Hayes. He is wide. Hayes just untouched into the end zone. Just were able to 12-yard touchdown run. First score of the night for Oak Ridge. Spartans had no answer for it. I'm a little shocked. I wasn't expecting that run. That's why I'm a little stunned. But Oak Ridge able to punch it in and get their first score of the night.
Beautiful blocking there as well from the left side of that line.
So the point after attempt is good. Oak Ridge able to go 65 yards and get their first score of the night, which is a 12-yard run by Justin Hayes. So cuts the deficit to 7 with just a minute 4 here in the first quarter. And that's one of those things that you're going to see a lot with this Oak Ridge offense. They're going to chew up a lot of clock. They might not have these big runs, these 55-yard passes, 50-plus yard runs, but they will just continue to chomp at the bit and just chew up clock and finally find their way into the end zone, Travis.
And I know their defense there on the sideline is certainly thankful for that from them. After a little bit of a scramble here earlier in the first quarter from Stratford.
You're right, after the 2 turnovers, but able to get the 3 and out, then come back and actually put some points on the board to make it fairly close game right now, just a one possession game. As Oak Ridge is lining up, so we get to see the kickoff team the second time tonight. Now, they did have themselves a little bit of a pooch kick as well, No one's really trying to kick it deep, especially whenever you have Joseph and Denson back to return for the Spartans. So Erstad gives himself another pooch kick. It's a signal for a fair catch around the 37. That is 19 Xavier Campbell. So it'll be actually it's going to be spotted at the 38, so it's going to be a first and 10 for the Spartans at their own 38 as they're still going towards the north end zone. We're still here in the first quarter.
Field position so far proving not to be an issue for either team. They can thank the weather for that one.
Yep. So DeLeon in the gun. Hands it off. Looks plenty of room for Denson as he's still untouched, as he is still hugging the sideline. He is in. One play gets into the end zone, but there is a flag on the play. Might have been a hold at the spot of the foul at the 22. But Denson did not get touched at all. So the 62-yard run, touchdown run, gets nullified. At the spot of the foul, the hold, it's going to be first and 10 for the Spartans in Oak Ridge territory. So a high snap over to DeLeon, but he's going to do a quarterback keeper. So you do see a lot of these RPO-style offenses that have made their way to the NFL and also in college, but that's what a lot of these high school teams have been doing, is getting a lot of these players more and more prepared as they make I know it's a small percentage, but as they try to make that next step to the next level. A lot of spread, trying to keep it pro style with 4 wide receivers lined up here for the Spartans. It's a play action pass. Nice tip.
That's number 5 for the War Eagles, Barryon Banks on the batted pass at the line.
Got his hands up. Was able to get some high hops on that deflection. Good catch. Yeah, Banks making some tackles. Banks is batting balls tonight. Say that 3 times fast. So 3rd and 8 here for the Spartans. War Eagles trying to do another 3 and out, so they do get a check down, and it is going to be another first down.
That's out to number 48 for the Spartans, Luke Zalafro.
So looking for their fullback as he gets the first down for the Spartans, and they are officially in the red zone. But that does it for the end of the first quarter. So just after 12 minutes of football, the Spartans are leading the War Eagles 14-7 as we switch sides. Travis, we had ourselves just 1 quarter down. A little exciting. Couple turnovers, 3 scores. What'd you like, what you didn't like?
Many explosive plays so far from the Spartans. Definitely not letting the rain become a factor. These outside runs they're taking, putting them in very good position to score.
They are not afraid to throw the ball, as you did see that we have had 2 touchdown passes, 2 touchdown receptions to Hunter Beal, the senior wide receiver for the Spartans. 2 scores for sure, at least 75 yards in the air. And we did have that 1 penalty favor Oak Ridge with that big 62-yard run. But that's one of those good things that Oak Ridge was glad that they had that hold called on them, or else it would have been a 21-7 game. But the defense being able to get rested. See what they have in store. See if they can put a stop here. Only let them get 3. That's a high snap. So high snap over to DeLeon as he takes a knee, making the smart play. It's going to be a second and, I'd say, second and 30. Yeah, it's going to be a second 30, second and 31 for the Spartans. Ball on the 40. So DeLeon signals to his receiver as he goes in motion, as he looks to the middle of the field again, and he's looking for Beal. Beal's just been in the slot all night, and it looks as though no one is covering him, and they don't have anyone in midfield in that zone. So DeLeon is making his read, and it's his first read, and it's Beal, and there's no one on him. Obviously, someone on the defensive side needs to keep there and keep an eye on number 0 as he's lining up on the near side in the slot. So 3rd and 31. As DeLeon goes downfield, and he gets his man, and it is going to be a touchdown. So a 60-yard reception. And I believe that was Xavier Campbell, number 19 for the Spartans. There's plenty of time in the backfield, in that pocket. Nice, clean pocket for DeLeon. Looked like he was able to do his taxes back there as he gets another touchdown pass for the night.
Seems to be just a little bit of communication, it must be, between this War Eagle secondary so far. A couple of big passes allowed.
So the point after attempt here for the Spartans. It is Estrada, as he is perfect. So after the 60-yard touchdown reception from the Spartans, from Campbell, it is now 21-7 Spartans, with just only less than 60 seconds here in the second quarter. So as the return teams lining up, I know that we do see Jaden Barnes, Phoenix Aguilar, and Finn Walk. I'm sorry, number 80, Ricky Stukes back to return. But they've been kicking it at about the 30, so let's see if Estrada continues with this game plan, not trying to kick it downfield and just have those mid-range pooch kicks around the 30.
Looks like he will.
Very predictable. They signal for the fair catch. So that was Bryce Coleman signaling for the fair catch. So the special teams are not really wanting to make too many risks by kicking it down there and giving these speedsters enough room and enough time to actually get a big return. But as you were saying earlier, Travis, pretty good field position all night for both teams, starting at their own 35, 38. It's been in that 35 to 40-yard range.
And I think that's something that both teams are more than willing to sacrifice.
Urbe in the gun. They're saying that it's an incomplete pass, as obviously red jersey saying that that was a reception, but they're going to say that he did not get the reception. This is looking for 85, Titus Brabui. That's a nice big target for tight end for the War Eagles. See a lot of the tight ends utilizing and lining up in the slot. So low snap. Ball
Ball's
comes out, but Urbe is turning something into nothing as he gets positive yardage as he runs out of bounds. So it's going to be a 3rd and 2. So the loose ball picked up, recovered by Urbe. They're going to say that he was pushed out of bounds around the 41, so it's going to be 3rd and 4.
Urbe there, though, without missing a beat, picked the ball up, keeping the play alive there.
Good call. So Urbe in the gun. 2-step drop. Safe swing pass over to Hayes, but doesn't get much of anything. Maybe 1 yard on the reception. And looks like we're going to see the punt team come out for Oak Ridge. So just 3 plays. And they're going to go ahead and bring out the punt team. This is the first time we're going to see the punt team tonight for Oak Ridge. Not enough of a break on the sideline for that defense. I think is that Xavier Coleman back to return? Actually, no, it looks like it's Jonathan Joseph back to return, number 3 for the Spartans. So a favorable bounce. And they're going to say the play is down at the 22. 23-yard line. And it looks like at the 22. Following the 3 and out and the punt. This is the furthest we're going to see Stratford start off with their offense. So they need to go 78 yards to get in the end zone. As the Spartans line up, going towards the south end zone. 1st and 10. They decide to hand it off. They give it to Denson as he gets 5, maybe 6, pinning the spot. So 2nd and 5, ball on the 28. Denson moving around the backfield. Not sure what's going on, but as they get lined up, it's play action. As Beal just gets himself his 3rd touchdown of the night. He was able to just get past Caleb Uresti. So now following a 72-yard reception, Stratford just putting more and more up. And that's a 3rd touchdown reception from Hunter Beal. Estrada ready to do the extra point. And the extra point attempt looks to be good as he is perfect tonight, 4 for 4. Unfortunately, Oak Ridge not having many answers for these big passing plays from the Spartans tonight. 3 big play touchdown receptions, a 55-yard reception, a 60-yard reception, and now a 72-yard reception. Secondary is not having much protection behind them, not keeping any safeties back. I know that it's just 10 minutes until halftime. Wondering what coach, the defensive coordinator, has in store, trying to think of any alternatives to try to keep the big plays from happening. Pinning this kickoff. As we see more and more of the Oak Ridge fans finally making their way into the stadium. We do hear the band trying to hype up their team. And the Spartans are kicking deep now. as Jaden Barnes on the return as he cuts back and he gets closer to the sideline. This is a favorable return. Looks like to be a 27-yard return. So Barnes just running out of bounds. Actually more like 32 yards as he returned it from the 5. So it's going to be a 1st and 10 at the 42 for Oak Ridge.
And the War Eagle offense here, I can anticipate them wanting this to be a longer drive.
Yeah, just following the 3 and out. They want to try to find the end zone yet again. So Urbe back to pass. Plenty of time in the pocket. Goes middle of the field. Finds Aguilar wide open. Gets into the end zone. One play, one pass. That's all Oak Ridge needed following the big return.
Or maybe just go right out and score.
Right in between the seams, you could just see the pass. I'm watching the replay, untouched. No one back there. Great vision, looking for the read. It was Phoenix Aguilar with the 58-yard pass reception as Oak Ridge gets their 2nd touchdown of the night. And Erstad back gets the extra point. I know the Oak Ridge offense really liked that play, but I'm sure the defense is probably on the sideline saying, come on, guys, we need a little bit more of a break. Great big play, but can we just get a little bit more time to catch our breath? But that's the type of momentum that you need to have, and put that back on the defense and see if they can actually capitalize with the momentum shift and just boosting that morale, especially on the sideline. Like, we have faith in you guys. Get back out there. Try to get another stop here, and we can put more points on the scoreboard. Looking at the sidelines, looking in the fan cam, getting the fans involved here. Oak Ridge is going to be kicking to the north end zone, and there has been some wind tonight. Seeing the flags waving to us from the south end zone. Looks as if Oak Ridge is doing another pooch kick, but Beal's going to go ahead and try to keep it as he's just finding himself a crease as he's at the 50. He's at the 40. 30, 20. Does Beal get into – Beal gets inside the 5 on the return. Oak Ridge was expecting just him go for a fair catch, but Beal gets himself a huge return as the Spartans are just going to get lined up for a 1st and goal at the 4. So a 66-yard return for the Spartans, and Hunter Beal has been putting the team on his back. Number 0 is having himself a night. So they call Denson as he just punches through and gets the 4-yard touchdown rush. Spartans only needed one play to find the end zone as they respond back with another touchdown. This is the first touchdown on the ground tonight for the Spartans. So it's now going to be 34-14 pending the extra point. It's a 3-score game. Actually, 3-possession game, my apologies. So Estrada has been perfect, 5 for 5. Travis, we've been seeing quite a bit of big plays tonight here at the bank. We've seen it offensively, and now we've seen it on special teams.
I think I'm in just as much awe as the special teams and defensive coordinators likely are for the War Eagles. At halftime, there will have to be a conversation on a fundamental level, it looks like, about communication or whatever is holding this War Eagle defense back at the moment.
Especially having such a stout defense last season where they weren't allowing many points. And I understand that whenever you do have players graduate and move on, it's hard to find those replacements. And that's one of those things that in the offseason and leading into the regular season that Oak Ridge was looking for is just how can we replace these key players of our roster, as it's another pooch kick and signal for a fair catch. Unterfinger signals for the fair catch, so Oak Ridge is going to start at their own 33, trailing by 3 touchdowns here at Shenandoah Woodforest Bank Stadium. So 1st and 10 for Oak Ridge. Lining up trips right. 3 wide receivers on the far side. Hayes in the backfield. It's an RPO. They give it to Hayes. Huge hole as he's able to get himself 10, maybe close to 13 yards on the rush, maybe 14. Seeing where they finally spot the ball. It's just right at the 48. So at midfield, they're going back to Hayes, calling his number. As he runs dangerously. As you can see the replay. He's keeping his average. Go ahead, Travis.
This Oak Ridge offensive line definitely looking to put in some work tonight for Hayes back there.
Yeah. Like I said, he's been averaging 6 yards a carry this season. Well, it's the first time out taken by Oak Ridge, so it's the first of the half. So with just 8:47 left here in the first half, rain has finally subsided. The field does look still a little wet in areas. Curious what the temp is on field right now, but sun's down. Thursday night lights here for us. I know that there is another game just north of us over at Moorhead tonight during halftime. Before we resume play, I'll give you a couple of score updates around the district, see if I can let you know how everyone stands at the moment. But Travis, as the teams are lining back out on the field, it's 8.5 roughly before it goes into halftime. Oak Ridge is in dire need to put some more points on the board to just narrow the deficit as much as they can. Zerbe is in the gun. So the timeout is about to conclude. So, 8:47 here. As the whistle signals the play to resume. Zerbe, plenty of time back to pass, just short of number 1, James Scott, just at his feet. Did see number 8, Eric Furwarn on the coverage. Now it's second and 10, ball at the 48. Last time Oak Ridge offense was on the field, it was the touchdown pass to Aguilar. But we're going to have ourselves a penalty. It's a false start. It looked like that was on Hayes in the backfield. Well, they were saying. So Titus Braboy was the man who was penalized on the play. Going in the wrong direction here for Oak Ridge, but they're lining up with 4 wide receivers. James Scott, the lone man, north is on the far side of the field. Urbe, back to pass. Looking at the middle of the field, he finds Aguilar yet again, gets the reception and the first. I like the way that Aguilar was able to turn back, cut back, as it was just a little underthrown. But Aguilar has that speed, so he was in the right area. Was just able to get the first down, cradle the ball, catch it. Something you like to see as they are now in Spartan territory. As Hayes gets a handoff, as he's going to sweep to the outside, and he's still standing, and he finally gets tackled by 2 Spartans. Looked like that was Raiden Barnes, the senior linebacker for the Spartans. But they're now getting close to a goal line stand here, just 12 yards to the end zone. Oak Ridge looking to get 6, maybe even 7 more. Urbe. Little delayed handoff. You thought it was going to be a pass. So it's just a... So the delay handoff just gets 2 for Oak Ridge. Travis, you want to see him continue with the ground game, or you want to have him try to do another goal line fade that they tried last time they were in the red zone?
Well, I think over the course of the game, keeping the playbook closed was okay when the issue was tempo, but I think it's become a matter of necessity to open it up here as the deficit continues to loom over the War Eagles.
And following the goal, did what they did earlier in the red zone. They were looking for Scott as it's an incomplete pass over his head. A little bit of that kind of goal line fade. But just with Scott's wingspan and how tall he is, but it was just a bit overthrown. So it's going to be 3rd and 8, ball at the 11. Oak Ridge split backs as they give it to Hayes, and he has himself plenty of room as he gets the first down and the score. So this is his 2nd touchdown rush of the night. Remember, he had 4 last week, so he is half of what he earned last week on the ground. But the offense is going straight through Hayes to keep this ground and pound going.
Beautiful blocking there on the outside also by James Scott on the defensive back there, letting Hayes right into the end zone for him.
Hayes has been able to find plenty of room whenever he gets into open space. And as you see, takes a couple of defenders to take the man down. And he's not afraid to use his powerful legs to get into the end zone. So with the point after being successful, it's just 14. Oak Ridge is just trailing by 14 with 7:15 remaining here in the first half. Now, this offense for the Spartans has had their way with this Oak Ridge defense tonight. Plenty of time for the defense to catch their breath, but it's also that offense is catching their breath on the opposite sideline. Just seeing what this defense needs to do. Now, the last time they did a pooch kick, Beal was able to get 64 yards, actually 66 yards on a return. They're not signaling for the fair catch. Stratford, they're making Oak Ridge have to work on special teams and on defense tonight. So the referee whistles. Erstad ready to kick. Coleman's looking to be lined up over at, as he returns from the 27, gets maybe 4. But Xavier Coleman, or Campbell, I apologize. Campbell didn't signal for the fair catch. They're making this Oak Ridge special teams have to put in some work. They're not giving you any gimmies tonight. As we see this Spartan offense line back up. Beal lined up in the slot on the near side hash mark. But they're going to keep it on the ground. But Oak Ridge able to make a stop. That was just a 2-yard carry by Denson. But that was Banks on the tackle. And Longstreet.
Denson breaking a couple tackles there, but Oak Ridge middle linebackers did quickly flow in there to make that stop for them. Very good vision.
2nd and 8 here. A little quick pass as they throw it to Beal in the slot yet again as he breaks himself another tackle. Oak Ridge having trouble wrapping up tonight. And Beal's been able to just break tackles left and right or even just get separation. They need to keep an eye on number 0. Because Hunter Beal has already had 3 touchdown passes. And he's looking to add more on his resume tonight. As the Spartans are at midfield. We do have a flag on the play. So Denson got the carry, but there was a flag thrown on the far sideline, the visiting sideline, over at the 46. So Cody Hanlon was penalized on the play. So the big play for Spartans get pushed back, so it's going to be a 1st and 5, or 1st and 15. Oak Ridge still lining up with 4 down linemen. Trying to put pressure on the quarterback. There was themselves a blitz as they do find Beal in the middle of the field. That was number 7, Dylan Chapman, making the stop. So it's going to be 2nd and 4 as the Spartans are back in War Eagle territory. Spartans been having themselves a timeshare in War Eagle territory tonight. Another man in motion. As they give it to Javi Denson, he gets the first down for the Spartans. Looks to be 9, maybe 10 yards on the run. So the ball's going to be at the 36. You know, the Spartans were going a little up-tempo earlier, but now they're just finding their groove, lining up. It's a quick pass to the sidelines. Looks like they get it over to Campbell. Oak Ridge secondary given a lot of cushion, not playing a lot of press. You think that you try to play a little tighter coverage, but I know that with the way that the secondary's been having these receivers get behind them tonight, they're giving a little bit more cushion. You can see that the Spartans see that, and they're just going to throw those easy, short passes. So DeLeon's going to do a quarterback keeper as he gets himself a first down and then some. He's hugging the sideline, and he finds himself into the end zone on the 30-yard quarterback scramble. Looked like it was going to be a pass play, but he saw just open field and decided to keep it and gets 30 yards, hugging the sideline, tiptoes. As breaking, looked like it was trying to be a shoestring tackle from Dylan Chapman, but that's another score for Stratford with just 3:44 remaining here in the half. And Estrada continues to stay perfect. That is the 6th extra point attempt. So now Oak Ridge scores, Stratford scores. Oak Ridge scores, Stratford scores. It's just been a little bit of a back and forth, but they're keeping it at a 21-point game here. As Stratford leading 42-21 with just 3:44 in the half. Now, Travis, if you were on the sideline here for Oak Ridge, what are you thinking about on defense? What would you be trying to say to the coaches, or even just being a coach to one of your players? What are you trying to instill to the guys on the sideline?
Well, first and foremost, I think the War Eagles are not out of this game by any means, but I think they do have the right idea, playing their secondary a little deeper as they have been recently, trying to keep it all in front of them, prevent those more explosive plays that put them in the sort of hole that they are in right now.
Yeah, I agree. It's still anyone's game. Even though you're down 3 scores, it's high school football. A lot can happen, especially we do know that Oak Ridge will be getting the ball back in the second half. There's still plenty of football left to be played here at Wood Forest Stadium tonight. As Oak Ridge brings their offense back out. 1st and 10, ball at the 33. Urbe does the quarterback keeper. Just runs in between the tackles. Urbe looks to get maybe 4 or 5.
And the War Eagles, with the success they have had on the ground thus far, would not be surprised if they do elect to just try to run out the clock, make their way toward the end zone as the second half does come to a close.
Urbe back, throws to the middle of the field, looking for his tight end, almost intercept. Actually, are they saying that he did get the interception? No, waiting for the sideline judge. They're saying that he did get the interception.
Looks like it bounced into the hands of Jonathan Joseph there.
So I'm watching the monitor here. So that is an interception. It was out of the hands of Parker Johnson, and it came back up. Now the sideline judge, they are going over it, but it does look like this is going to stand as an interception. Oh, nope, they're saying it's an incomplete pass. Now, in high school, we do not have reviewable plays. We do not have a guy in New York we call on to make sure that everything is copacetic, but this is in favor of Oak Ridge with it being 3rd and 5. They're glad that that was not an interception and be another turnover of the night for the War Eagles.
Maybe a bit of a starter there for the War Eagle offense. Be surprised to see if they do take another shot before the half closes.
Hayes in the backfield to the left of Urbe. As they do give it to him, he's able to find some open space, but there is, while he does get the first down, there is a flag in the backfield. It might be a hold, and this one could be coming back for Oak Ridge. So Braboy getting called for another penalty on the line. He had a false start earlier. Now he has himself a hold. When you go into the film room, a couple of those things that you do in the offseason, especially leading up to the beginning of the season, making sure that, penalties happen. Nothing wrong with it. Just want to make sure that they're making the players aware, and all you have to do is just learn from it. So 5 wide receivers line it up. Urban, the pocket kind of collapses on him as he was dancing a little bit. Probably heard some footsteps. So 4th and long, they're going to go ahead and punt it away. Looks like they're going to have Jonathan Joseph back to return. Number 3, he's lined up at the 35. Scott back to punt. Not a lot of hang time this, but after the bounce, Joseph finding some room. He's running down the sideline. The kid has wheels as he does a spin move and gets tackled at the 25. I say he got maybe 38 on that return. So that shutdown corner has himself some speed.
You could tell he considered it for a second, letting it bounce out, but very quickly decided taking himself, put his offense in a very good position.
Not enough hang time on the punt to let your team get downfield. That's why Joseph decided to keep it and go with it. So now 1st and 10 at the 25, the Oak Ridge 25. It's a play action pass in the middle of the field. They call on Beal yet again. So Beal gets the reception and the first down. Ball at the 14. They are in the red zone. Stratford looking to add another touchdown to put 7 on the board. There'll be 7 scores if they get into the end zone in this half. Another play. Actually, no, they hand it off, and that's Denson. As no one is around, there was a big, wide open hole in the middle of the field. Denson runs 14 and gets in the end zone. So the 7th score of the night from the Spartans. So the point after attempt here. Snap, hold. The kick is good.
The extra point attempt is good.
So it's been all Spartans this half as they lead 49-21 over the Oak Ridge War Eagles. Oak Ridge seeing if they can try to get one in the end zone before half because they will be receiving to try to cut the deficit down. Oak Ridge has been trailing all night with just 2 minutes and 6 seconds here before half. And obviously, when halftime does go underway, you won't hear from us at all. We mute ourselves and let the special teams, or not the special teams, we let the band and the drill team have their little halftime show. So we give ourselves a little bit of a break and talk about a lot of what we saw in the first half, and we'll check some scores around the district and give you an update on that for those who are playing tonight. We do know that there is some NFL football going on right now. I know that the Chiefs are playing the Ravens. Haven't really had a chance to check in on that score. For those of you who are still with us here on YouTube. So the kickoff is going to be another fair catch. So Unterfinger gets the fair catch. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 32. And Travis, I know we've been discussing this a lot tonight. This is kind of where Oak Ridge has been starting, in between the 30 and 40, somewhere along those lines. And the same pretty much with the Spartans. So let's see if they can make their way downfield. All they have is 70 yards to go, as it's a handoff to Hayes, as he's able to find himself some room. Plenty of room, gets 15 on the run.
Parker Johnson, number 21, on the stop. That's enough for a War Eagles first down.
Oak Ridge not going to go up tempo. They're going to try to chew up some clock if they're going to continue with the ground game. They hand it off over to Hayes yet again, as he just bounces off of 3 Spartans and gets tackled just short of the first down marker. Does get it into Spartan territory. It's going to be a 2nd and 2, just under a minute and a half here in the first half. You'd think that maybe they want to go a little bit more up tempo, so the Spartans don't have a chance to make some substitutions. So line up with trips near side. Urbe throws to the middle of the field looking for, and it's intercepted. Looking for Aguilar. That was number 21, Parker Johnson, on the interception. He was spying right around the 25. A couple of these plays to Aguilar, a couple of these passes, they were successful. And then Parker Johnson just playing back, watching Urbe's eyes. That is another interception. Spartans are going to start at the Oak Ridge 48 following the turnover. As the Spartans line up, they're going to go with an empty backfield, 5 wide receivers lined up. DeLeon, plenty of time. He was looking for Xavier Campbell.
That'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
So Oak Ridge has been playing a lot of man coverage with their secondary, especially whenever they lined up with 5 wide. They're having a little miscommunication in the backfield or in the secondary. So they're continuing with the 5 wide receivers as we get a little screen pass to the tight end, number 87, Cody Hanlon.
Number 87 on the reception.
Another first down for the Spartans.
40 Kerman. Number 29 on the stop. That's enough for a Spartan first down.
Spartans continue with the empty backfield. Changing the play at the line is DeLeon. Another quick pass over to number 87, Hanlon, as he gets another first down.
Pushed out of bounds by number 5, Banks. That's enough for a Spartan first
And the
down.
Spartans are trying to make a statement here with this next drive. Trying to punch it in yet again. With just 43 seconds remaining in the half. Three wide receivers lined up on the far side. 2 on the near. Pocket collapses. DeLeon throws downfield. It is going to be an incomplete pass, as we do see a little bit of rain starting to find its way back on the field. seeing it start to mist up again, a little precipitation. Rain's coming down and hitting our window here in the press box, in the booth. But the Spartans have not been afraid to throw that football tonight. This is going to be a 2nd and 10. Ball on the Oak Ridge 28. Wide receivers, 3 wide receivers on the near side, 2 on the far side. DeLeon, clean pocket, throws to the middle of the field as he finds number 87, Cody Hanlon, for the 28-yard reception. And Stratford scores yet again. It's going to be 55-21, pending the extra point. So Estrada back to kick the extra point yet again. Beal is holding for him. Snap, hold, kick, good. So Ricky Estrada is 8 for 8. No need to kick field goals whenever you just continue to just get point after. But with 31 seconds left here in the half, all Spartans tonight, 56-21 over the Oak Ridge War Eagles. The last time that the Spartans decided to kick it deep, I know that it was Jaden Barnes on the return, and he actually had himself a nice return, but I'm not sure that these Spartans are going to try to kick it far back. It looks like they're just going to do their old bread and butter, little high pooch kick over to the 30. They're actually going to do a return. So the War Eagles. So that was Unterferger with the return. He gets pushed out of bounds at the 39. Depending on if they decide to run the ball, which Oak Ridge has been doing, usually on the first play of the drive, might just have one play and then may just go into the locker room for halftime. Urbe. Actually, they hand it off over. They handed it off to Hayes, but that was actually Demetrius Cotton. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. That was Travis Coleman in at quarterback now for Oak Ridge. But time is going to expire here, and that does it for the first half here at Woodforest Bank Stadium. So Stratford is leading over the Oak Ridge War Eagles 56-21. Oak Ridge will be receiving the ball in the second half. Travis, it's been all Spartans. That's 8 touchdowns in the first half. They're able to capitalize on the turnovers, and it's looks like Oak Ridge hasn't really had any answers for this high up-tempo passing offense.
And I think if you're Oak Ridge in this situation too, you almost do hope the rain comes back, maybe make it a battle of the backs, which they did have some early success early in the game on the ground with Hayes, and keep it on the ground. Whatever they can do to take the Spartan receivers out of the game.
Especially number 0, Hunter Beal. Dude is putting on a clinic tonight. But we're going to give ourselves a break and let you enjoy the halftime festivities, starting off with the Stratford band and drill team. Now, I know that it wasn't raining just a bit ago, but they're going to come out and be troopers, and hope you enjoy the show, and we'll be back, and we'll give you a couple updates throughout the district before play resumes here at Woodforest Bank Stadium. Thank you. All right, Travis, we are back, ready for the second half. I just want to say before we even start, I want to give mad props over to both of the schools, bands, and drill teams being out here in the weather, performing. I know it's very hard to do, especially whenever the weather is the way it is tonight, but just got to give them a lot of respect and congratulate them for going out there and doing such a great job, especially during halftime. I know that a lot of them are getting a lot of their practice and reps in, especially for UIL competition. So good on them, and very big, huge congratulations, because whenever the weather's like this, it's nothing pretty, and just got to let everybody know that they're doing a great job out there. But both teams have already made their way back onto the field, so we are about to get underway with the second half. Oak Ridge is going to be receiving, and couple things going on in the district right before we resume play here. I know that the Wildcats are on the road playing against Klein Collins right now, and they're leading 28-7. And just north of us over at Moorhead, Grand Oaks is playing against Waller, and they're leading right now 10-7. But as play is about to resume here, and we have this half kickoff, Travis, it's been all Stratford, especially in the first half. Put up 56 on Oak Ridge. Looks like the rain has calmed down a little bit again. What do you think is going to happen? Another pooch kick?
I would imagine so. I would be surprised if they risked anything otherwise again.
Now we had Jace Jasinski. Actually, I'm sorry, that was number 14, Bryce Coleman, signal for the fair catch. And Oak Ridge's offense is going to come back out. They're going to start on the 33. Oak Ridge is going to stick with Travis Coleman under center. The sophomore quarterback is going to be getting him some reps in the second half. And they still have Justin Hayes at tailback. So high snap. Coleman decides to keep it as he follows Hayes and gets himself, looks to be 8 yards on the quarterback keeper. Second and 2 here for the War Eagles, as we're underway in the second half. Ball on the 41. Oak Ridge attacking, trying to attack the north end zone. As it's a first down for Oak Ridge as he finds James Scott with the quick pass. Throws it to the far sideline. So the play action pass ends up being a first down here for Oak Ridge. So they are now back in Spartan territory. Actually close to Spartan territory. They're right at the 49, Oak Ridge's own 49. Three-step drop, a little pump fake action. Looking for Scott again. Now that is an incomplete pass. It was number 18, Demetrius Cotton, in on the coverage.
Oak Ridge looking to keep a fairly even play distribution here early. You would assume they would stick to the ground, find success where they found it earlier, but no, they are not shying away from the air thus far.
Coleman in the gun. Hayes gets the check play. Runs out of bounds near the sideline. Obviously, he runs out of bounds at the sideline. They think it's about a 7-yard reception, waiting for the line judge. But they are now in Spartan territory. It's going to be a 3rd and 2. Coleman calling the play at the line for the War Eagles. 3 wide receivers lined up, tight end in the backfield. As they hand off to Hayes as he's trying to turn the corner, and he gets himself the first down and then some. So Demetrius Cotton in on the tackle for the Spartans, as it is another War Eagle first down. Oak Ridge, 1st and 10. Ball at the Spartan 36. Drop back. Finds Scott as he breaks a tackle. Tries to juke another defender, and he gets out of bounds right at the 15. So James Scott with the 16-yard reception. Oak Ridge able to move the ball in the air right now. They're now back in the red zone for their first drive of the half. 1st and 10 at the Stratford 15. They call on Scott yet again, as it takes 4, maybe even 5 Spartans to tackle him.
Oak Ridge finding a bit of a rhythm here with the outside runs and swing passes early on, and then opening up just a little bit, testing the waters through the air, and it's working out decently for them so far.
Stratford's given a little bit of a cushion, if you can see how Scott is lined up at the top of, on the far side. It's just one-on-one coverage. This is going to be another play. Actually, no, they do hand it off to Hayes as he's in the backfield. It took 3 Spartans to bring him down, and it was finally number 21, Parker Johnson, bringing down Hayes. So it's going to be now 3rd and 7.
The Spartans much more quick there to make contact with Hayes also before letting him get to that outside corner, as he has been throughout the night.
Coleman gets a snap as they hand it back off to Hayes as he's finding plenty of room going up the middle, gets the first down just short of the goal line. So it's going to be a 1st and goal, ball at the 3. It's been all Hayes and Scott this drive. So now 1st and goal at the 3. Another play to Hayes as they are trying to truck. They say that he crossed the plane. We're waiting. We do see a line judge signaling. That is a 3-yard touchdown run there for Justin Hayes. That is his 3rd rushing touchdown of the night. So Hayes gets his hat trick here in the second half, as Oak Ridge scores on their first drive of the half. And is now 28-56. Stratford still in the lead. Oak Ridge able to come back from the locker room at half and put some points on the board. And it's been all Hayes this drive and a couple sprinkles of James Scott.
And you love to see that from Oak Ridge also. A more diverse play distribution showing we're not a one-trick pony, but we're still willing to rely on our workhorse when we need to and proving successful with it.
I agree right there, Travis. Just able to just rely on Hayes, getting on, being able to trust in your power back, getting into the end zone, and getting the distribution, being able to utilize more of the pass game, especially trying to get Scott involved. It's very, very important, and it's good that we see a little bit more distribution along the wide receivers in this half. Now we can see what Stratford has in store. I don't know if they're going to try to bring in their second string just yet, but you do see the return team playing up. They're about near the 17 and the 25. They have 4 people back as they have plenty of players over at the 45. So it's another high pooch kick. And it is Beal yet again. And Beal's just being able to break tackles. He had a 66-yard return earlier. Finally gets tackled right at the 41. So Spartans coming back with good field position. And it looks like they're keeping first string out there. I do see number 10, Aaron DeLeon. So Stratford have been able to distribute the ball through the air a lot tonight. See if they give it to Javi Denson. He has had a few scores on the ground tonight. But it's been a lot of this pass game for Stratford has been their bread and butter. So they do call in Javi Denson. He was able to cut back and just find some space and gets a huge first down for the Spartans as they're already in Oak Ridge territory. Say it was out of bounds. Looks to be at the 37, the Oak Ridge 37. As the actual game clock stops at 8:13. This is going to be 1st and 10 here for Stratford. So they're lining up with a bunch formation. And Beal goes in motion. And it was a quick pass in the middle of the field, actually more towards the far side of the field. And looking to number 87, Cody Hanlon again, just short of the first down marker. It's now 2nd and 3 with a 7-yard reception. The ball is on the 30-yard line. Stratford taking their time, not going up tempo as they did earlier. As it is a play, actually no, they do give it to Dennison yet again, but he gets plugged up in the middle. It looked like that was Aiden Struthers on the tackle for Oak Ridge. It's going to be a 3rd and 3 still, as they say there was no gain from forward progress. So 3rd and 3 for Oak Ridge. 3rd and 3 for Stratford. Oak Ridge trying to cause a 3 and out here. Beal in motion. DeLeon, the pocket collapses as he decides to keep it as he gets the first down as he's pushed out of bounds near the 20. Those Devin Longstreet putting a hand on DeLeon. So the Spartans get themselves another first down to keep the drive alive as they move the chains. It is now 1st and 10 at the 20.
And this War Eagle secondary still seemingly finding their footing, keeping the plays in front of them.
So DeLeon, plenty of time in the backfield, looking to the corner of the end zone, and he finds a man. I believe that is, that is Hunter Beal again, his 4th touchdown reception of the night. So Stratford answers back with another touchdown after the Oak Ridge score to start the half. So it is now 62, pending the extra point, 28 over Oak Ridge. The extra point is good. It is now 63-68. Just 5 minutes into the second half. Hunter Beal is having himself a night for the Stratford Spartans. So number 0, the senior wide receiver on the opposing side. He's having himself a night here at Woodforest Bank Stadium. Pending kickoff here. Travis, they've been playing it. Stratford's been playing it safe, not wanting to kick it deep. They made the mistake once after it was the 30-plus yard return. I think that was Barnes, who had that good return late in the second quarter. But looks like number 25, Andrew Lumpkin, is kicking for Stratford, and it's Barnes on the return as he's trying to move his way sideline to sideline. He gets tackled at the 31. That was number 20, Ethan McKnight, on the tackle for Stratford. First drive for Oak Ridge. This half they were able to put some points on the scoreboard, as it was James Scott and Justin Hayes making moves on the offense.
Curious to see here if they do decide to open up for some deeper shots downfield, or if they'll continue to stick to the ground game, these outside runs that were successful for them last drive.
So they go empty. They have a check down, little screen pass over to number 3, Logan Unterfinger. Looks to be a 2, maybe 3-yard reception with the screen. Oak Ridge started with a 5 wide receiver set. Hayes lining up to the right of Coleman. Coleman underthrows just at the feet of Scott. 2 defensive backs were covering Scott.
Heavy pressure there also from Spartans number 40, Beck Harger, putting some pressure there, forcing the incompletion.
Need a little bit more time in the pocket there for Coleman, but he's staying in the pocket proud. As he throws, it's going to be an incomplete pass. That is Unterfinger again. So they're trying to distribute the ball a little bit more, but is now 4th and 8. Oak Ridge ready to punt. James Scott back to get the long snap. Nice hang time. As Jonathan Joseph was back to return. This bounce is favoring Oak Ridge as they call the play down at the 24. It's going to be 1st and 10. Spartans still bringing out their first team. They're doing a split back right now. They have Jake Weinhardt and Javi Denson in the backfield in between DeLeon. It looked like there was a miscommunication on the play because it looked like DeLeon was just going to hand it off, but the broken play turns into positive yardage with the quarterback keeper. If you looked in the backfield, it looked like he was going to hand it off, but both of his running backs weren't there. And with the broken play, he just kept it and got positive yardage. As they are now back in Oak Ridge territory.
That seems to be a common theme tonight. Very quick decision-making by the Spartans, leading to some pretty explosive plays down the field.
As they hand it off, you see Davis Kendall. See, the first time he's getting a handoff tonight, it's usually been Denson in the backfield. As the Spartans are making a substitution, bringing in number 70, Caleb Borum, on the offensive line at left guard. Looked like Ryan Griggs had to come off the field for a second. Looked like some equipment malfunction. Split backs here as they give the ball to Denson again as he bounces off some defenders and does a jump. He leaps over a defender and gets and extends the play, gets another first down for the Spartans. So after leaping over to the defender, is able to get 8 more on the carry. So it's now 1st and 10 at the 21, and Denson is getting the rock. They just continue to feed number 5. It's now going to be a 2nd and 7. As Stratford is now back in the red zone. They've been utilizing the ground game here in the second half. So they continue to feed Denson as he gets another short yardage situation there. Looks to be 4, maybe 5. It's going to be 3rd and short. And ball's going to be spotted at the 15-yard line. So 3rd and 4. Oak Ridge needing to put a stop here. Play clock at 13. They give it to Denson. They say he's short of the first down marker. This might be the first time we see the actual field goal unit come out. This is going to be Ricky Estrada.
And after a more high-flying first half for the Spartans, it looks as though they're not in much of a rush to put it back in the air.
So this is going to be a 28-yard attempt, and Andrew Lumpkin is going to be kicking the field goal for the Spartans. Snap, hold. He has the distance, and they do say he does kick it through the uprights. He splits the uprights. So Stratford, with their first field goal tonight, the junior kicks a 28-yarder for the Spartans, and it's now 66-28 here with 2:53 left in the third quarter. Big stop there from Oak Ridge. Spartans usually go into the ground game now in the second half, early here in the second half. And Oak Ridge able to put a stop and only allow 3 points on the board.
And I think the Eagles also have to take that as a victory in a sense.
So the last kick from the Spartans, number 25, Andrew Lumpkin, lining up, teeing it up right here. Kicked it low as it was just skidding on the field. Now Barnes was able to get the return. Looks like they're doing the pooch kick again, but Oak Ridge is deciding to keep it. And Bryce Coleman on the return gets most likely, I think that was about a 4-yard, maybe even 5 on the return. They're going to start at their own 39. First and 10 here for the Oak Ridge offense. Looking to continue to go with this momentum they had on the last scoring drive. Hayes turns the corner, gets maybe 4 on the run. 21 Parker Johnson in on the tackle. Tuning in over, looking at what is going on just north of us, there's been a few score changes over at Moorhead as Grand Oaks is now leading 17-14 in the fourth quarter. Coleman throws to the far sideline, finds Scott as he's trying to get some positive yardage, but is met by two Spartans. Number 3, Jonathan Joseph. Number 21, Parker Johnson. The two shutdown corners are making their presence known. Third and 7. Just under 2 minutes here in the third quarter. Oak Ridge lining up with 3 wide receivers on the near side. Scott on the far side, lined up right at the 41. And they call on Hayes as he gets plenty of room. They're going to say Hayes got the first down. That's another War Eagle first down as Hayes has been accelerating on the ground. Lined up right next to Coleman in the right. Coleman, mild pump fake, looks to Scott again as he breaks 1, 2 tackles. The ball, it looks like the ball does come out, and Spartans are saying that they have it. But no, it is, the ball is recovered by Oak Ridge. Good vision there by, I think that was number, having trouble seeing who's coming up from the scrum. The good reaction there by Oak Ridge, being able to see the ball come out and go after it and keep the drive alive for the offense. They give the first down to Oak Ridge. They are now in Spartan territory. Ball at the 39. As they hand off to Hayes. He navigates his way through the line.
And with the conservative play calling at this stage of the game, I do think that is the right move. Maybe worry more so about the next down rather than the overall game.
Now being just less than 10 seconds here in the third quarter. It's now going to be, after 3 quarters of football, we're going to swap sides, and Oak Ridge is going to be attacking now the south end zone. It's been Stratford with 66 and now Oak Ridge with 28 as we are about to start the fourth quarter. Just 12 minutes of football left here at Woodforest Bank Stadium on a Thursday night on a very wet, rainy Thursday night. Following a pretty dry week that we had here in Montgomery County. Now Travis, you're right about the conservative play here, just letting it chew up and get into the fourth quarter. Know that these guys are going into school tomorrow after tonight's game.
I think at most maybe hit them with a few more runs to the outside as they have been. Hope one of them breaks free with Hayes. Otherwise, secure the ball.
Second and 3 to start off the fourth quarter. Coleman back, evades pressure as he runs right with a sidearm throw. Misses Aguilar. It's going to be a 3rd and 3. Oak Ridge getting the play. They're calling with 3 wide receivers lined up on the near side. Hayes in the backfield to the left of Coleman. Handed off to Coleman as he turns the corner. Quick acceleration, able to get the first down out of bounds as he moves the chains. They're going to say he was down at the 30, at the 25.
Yeah. Brought down hard there by Race Young on the outside.
Quick pass to the sideline. They throw over to James Scott as he's able to get past Jonathan Joseph and finally pushed out of bounds by Tiergan Burrow. Second and 4 for the War Eagles. Oak Ridge been going with no huddle, calling plays at the line of scrimmage. Hand off to Hayes. See, dances, is looking for some space, but he gets a first down. Just that delay, little stutter step in the backfield, and follows that hole between the guard and tackle on the left side, and able to get the first down. Oak Ridge going for the end zone, and it is picked off in the end zone. I think that was Jonathan Joseph on the interception. Spartans are going to take over at their own 20 with the touchback.
Maybe not going quite how they drew it up, but after a pretty lengthy drive, hoping War Eagle defense is feeling a little refreshed, can hold this Spartans offense for as long as they can.
The Spartans offense is coming out on the field. It looks like they're bringing out number 16, Will McCarroll, to lead this offense. So Aaron DeLeon's night is over. Quick pass to the sideline. Stratford is giving some reps to the younger underclassmen. So the 6-yard reception is now 2nd and 4. Ball at their own 26. And this has been the furthest back that the Spartan offense has started tonight. It's a high snap. It's a busted play there for McCarroll.
Wrapped up by Devin Longstreet in on the tackle.
It's going to be 3rd and 1. Oak Ridge lining up with 4 down linemen. Tight coverage as they hand it off. Spartans look to get the first down. It's number 28, Davis Kendall, as he is finally pushed out of bounds at the Oak Ridge 45. And Stratford's going no huddle with this offense, calling plays at the line. McCarroll with the snap as he hands it back off to Kendall. He gets stopped at the line. The Oak Ridge front 7 able to plug up these holes.
throughout the night, not allowing much as far as rushing to the inside.
2nd and 10 for Stratford. Hand it off to Kendall again. They're saying he was able to get 8. It's going to be 3rd and 2. Just 9 minutes remaining here in regulation. Ball on the 36-37. Yeah, they're spotting the ball in between the 36-37 yard line. So 3rd and 2 for the Spartans. There are 5 War Eagles lined up. They're trying to bring pressure, and they tackle Kendall in the backfield. It'll be a 1-yard loss. Now it's going to be 4th and 4, no, 4th and 3.
Looked to be Brendan Ramsey, and they're making the initial contact to stop that play where it stood.
And they're going to keep the offense on the field. Not that many kickers in high school have the leg to kick it as far, at least over a 50-yarder. So the offense handing it off to Kendall, and he gets the first down, converts on 4th down, the one and only 4th down conversion of the night by Stratford. First and 10 at the 33. Stratford continuing with the short pass game as they find number 82. Fortunately, I do not have 82 on my sheet. I do apologize for that. Second and 3. As the play clock continues to wind down at 10 seconds. High snap. Another short pass. The ball comes out, and it goes out of bounds. 82 for Stratford. Fumbled the ball after getting the first down. The ball does come back out and goes out of bounds. They're going to say that he was short of the first down marker. It is going to be a 3rd and 1, as it is going to be an official timeout here with just 6:48 remaining in the game. And looks to be that over at Moorhead, Grand Oaks does secure the victory. Close game of 17-14 over Waller. Grand Oaks is now 2-0 on the season. Heading into week 3 of non-district play. Congratulations to Grand Oaks. The Wildcats are still leading over Klein Collins. As play is about to resume here, offense and defense are lining up. Ball at the 25. McCarroll gets the low snap and hands it off to Kendall. Kendall gets the 2 he needs to move the chains for the Spartans. With the rain coming and going tonight, I think that we have clear skies for the remainder of this game. It is pretty windy out there.
Definitely has made it an interesting one as far as play calling is concerned throughout the night.
Kendall with the carry as he gets out of bounds, trying to evade contact. It'll be a 2nd and 2, maybe 2nd and 1 depending on the spot. That'll be a 2nd and 2, ball at the 14. Stratford back in the red zone. Oak Ridge was able to keep Stratford to only 3 points on the previous drive. Defense putting a stop. Stratford lining up with 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. Looks to be a timeout being called. No, there was a delay of game. My apologies. Delay of game from Stratford. They did not get the timeout in time. Push them back 5 yards. So it'll be 2nd and 7 at the 19 with 6.5 left in regulation. Play clock wind down. Snapped it at 7 seconds. As they let Luke Zillafro in on the mix, getting some carries. Zillafro actually had himself a big play earlier in the game. As it's going to be 3rd and 5. Oak Ridge. And 4 defensive linemen. Looks to be 3 linebackers playing tight man coverage as they're able to get themselves in the backfield and put another stop. Zillafro tackled in the backfield. It'll be a 4th and 10. And Stratford's keeping the offense on the field. Play clock now at 10. As it's a high pass intended for 27, Tyler Fuel. As it comes out of his hands, and it's going to be now a turnover on downs. The Oak Ridge defense able to cause a turnover on downs, and now we get to see the offense come back on the field with 4 minutes, 42 seconds. They're able to make it into the red zone the last drive. Unfortunately, they did throw the interception. Coleman still at quarterback. Hayes in the backfield. Low snap. Actually, that was Caden Reyna, number 22 for Oak Ridge, getting some reps in the backfield tonight. Second and 12. Throw a pass over to Ricky Stukes.
Brought down quickly there by Demetrius Cotton on the tackle.
Little quick comeback route. It's now 3rd and 6 for Oak Ridge. Coleman with the snap. Delayed handoff. He's going to keep it as he's following Reyna. gets maybe 1-2 yards with the quarterback keeper. Just 3 and out, and now the punt team is making their way, lining up. Play clock at 20. With the 4th and 4. Oak Ridge looking to snap it before the play clock hits 0. It's another high punt, and no one back to return for Stratford. Dylan Chapman was able to touch the ball at the 42 Stratford yard line. Stratford's bringing their offense back out on the field, led by number 16, Will McCarroll. Play clock is at 10. High snap. They hand it off. Zillafro gets maybe a yard on the carry. Second and 9 with 2:20 left in regulation here at Woodforest Bank Stadium. Travis, how'd you like sitting in on the booth tonight up here?
Definitely a very memorable first game, to say the least.
Zilfro with the carry yet again, gets maybe another yard. It's going to be a 3rd and 7. Well, I'm glad that you were able to join us tonight here at Woodforest Bank Stadium on our Conroe ISD Athletics Woodforest Bank Stadium channel. We're going to be back here again tomorrow night. I know that the Woodlands is going to be hosting. Who do they have in store for us?
Deer Park.
Deer Park is going to be coming to town as Zilfro gets another carry. See you tomorrow night, September 6th, Deer Park here at Woodforest Bank Stadium. Conroe is going to be on the road. Caney Creek will be at Moorhead. College Park is going to be on the road to Klein Cain and New Caney. They're both, College Park and New Caney are playing on Saturday the 7th. So now being 4th and 6, we are under a minute left in the game. Play clock, game clock continue to go down. They're going to punt it off. So play clock expires. Actually, no, they finally get the timeout in time, so they don't get the penalty. One thing to take away from this game for Oak Ridge is that this is non-district. They still were able to make the postseason last year, and they did play a tough Stratford team recently, last season, or it was the year before. But just something to don't want to really have that stick with you going into next week. Can make a lot of adjustments going in to week 3 of non-district play. Stratford punts it. So Oak Ridge offense is coming back out. Start off at their own, looks to be their own 32, as Stratford punted out of bounds. There's 23 seconds left on the play clock. With it only being week 2, there's plenty of season left. And there were some positive things that we saw from this Oak Ridge defense and offense tonight, especially seeing control of the ground game. Like to see that Justin Hayes got himself 3 touchdowns tonight on the ground. And Reyna with the carry. Say you got 5, maybe 6 on that rush. And as the play clock winds down to 0, that'll do it for you here at Woodforest Bank Stadium. The Stratford Spartans win 66 over the Oak Ridge War Eagles 28. We hope everyone enjoyed tonight's game. We want to thank you all for tuning in tonight here on our YouTube stream. We hope everybody gets home safe. I know the weather's been a little finicky out there. Everyone gets home safe, able to get to bed and get to school early tomorrow. Congratulations again to the band. I see the Oak Ridge band still here playing loud, rooting for their team. So for the Woodforest ISD, Conroe ISD Athletics Woodforest Bank Stadium stream, I'm Jackson Cochran.
And I'm Travis Mayu.
Thank you for tuning in. We hope you guys have a great night and take care. Be good, everyone.